Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about Donald Trump and, saying that in South Africa, they're taking the land from the Boers and expropriating land without compensation. And we know that's not true. Even the Boers have come out themselves, say that the government is not taking their land like that. They don't want to come to the United States at all. They don't want no refugee status. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because for a very long time, FBAs have had their land taken away from them, not just after slavery, not during just Jim Crow segregation, but even in modern times. Case in point, I want you to look, let's get into this story because this is very upsetting. Like, how dare, this country try to say anything to South Africa when they doing things like this? We have a black family say they won't back down after a court allows a railroad to take their land. Right. So after a judge ruled that a railroad could take their land, landowners in Sparta, Georgia, are appealing the decision to the state Supreme Court. And all right, this is February 11, 2025. OK, this isn't a 1925. All right. So it said Blaine and Diane Smith were hurt by unsurprised when the Georgia Superior Court judge ruled last week that a railroad company could seize their land despite their refusal to sell. It said for nearly 2 years, they've been fighting to stop Sandersonville, railroad company, a 130-year-old white-owned business, from building a 4.5 mile rail spur through a historically black neighborhood in rural Sparta. It said the company initiated eminent domain. Eminent domain is a way to take your property, okay? But you want to say something to South Africa, which is a process that allows the government to seize private property for public use. It said the proposed spur will cut through parts of the property Blaine and his siblings inherited, which includes 600 acres acquired by his grandfather in the 1920s. Growing up, he farmed, fished, and hunted on that land. His family cultivated cotton, fruits, vegetables, and timber, and raised pigs, chickens, and cows. It said not only has it been used to feed generations, but to pay for some family members' education as well. Now, currently, his brother Mark Smith and his wife Janet Page Smith live on the land, they say, with a railroad just feet away from their home. It would disrupt their peace and run through the middle of the night where Blaine plants trees. They say he also was worried about the potential damage to the property from hazardous products being transported on the tracks and people trespassing. He says, we have to fight to keep this land. It's always somebody coming in trying to bamboozle you out of it. He said, there's people trying to come hunt on it and trespass on it. He said, it's going to be easier for them to do that if we put a railroad through the middle of it. He said, you ask me what things bother me about it? He said, I mean, everything bothers me about it. Now, to say, despite those concerns, Fulton County, which is, a black area, Fulton County Superior Judge Craig Schwall Sr., in a ruling on February 4th, upheld a previous decision by the Georgia Public Service Commission that the rail spur is necessary for Sandersville Railroad to connect industries, and that it serves a public purpose because it opens a channel of trade through East Middle Georgia. So, however, the landowners say they won't be discouraged from the ruling. It say the Institute for Justice, which represents them, is appealing the decision to the Georgia Supreme Court. It said, we're going to fight till we can't fight no more. I don't want to leave any stone unturned. My grandmother used to say, no stone unturned. So you keep unturning and unturning. Now, it's in 2023. It said Benjamin Tarbutton II, president of Sandersville Railroad, made plans to construct a rail spur that will connect the Hanson Quarry, a rock mine owned by Heidelberg, Materials, to a main train line along the nearby highway, but the company needed portions of the property from 18 owners along Shoals Road to make it happen. Now, he touted the project and said it would create 20 temporary construction jobs, a dozen permanent jobs, averaging $90,000 a year in salary and benefits, and bring over $1.5 million annually to Hancock County. It said, with a median household income is nearly $34,000. It said Tarbutton said in an email saying if the proposal moves forward, local officials hope this could attract future businesses and improve economic growth. Now, I'm reading all this for a reason, so it's bad with me. It said, however, black landowners have consistently expressed concern that the railroad could damage their homes, cause noise pollution, and result in the loss of land that has been passed down through generations. Tarbutton moved forward and petitioned the state's Public Service Commission to condemn the land from the property owners using eminent domain. The last filed a Public Service Commission unanimously approved the proposed rail spur during an 11-minute meeting. That didn't take long to take their land, did it? It's a following in line with a hearing officer decision in April. The Institute for Justice appealed decision arguing the rail line does not constitute a legitimate public use. Okay, so the judge, they say the Superior Court judge concurred with the commission's order last week, but halted construction while appeals proceeded. Okay, so the thing is, of course, they're going to appeal, but this is the thing. Okay, they've been taking black people's land like this for a very long time. If it was not like this terrorism, how a lot of our land was taken, it was this eminent domain. Now, you want to go to South Africa, and South Africa basically has a law like that now. Well, basically, they can do eminent domain. They could give you compensation, but if they find out that you got it through ill-gotten means, you're not getting compensation. That's the way that law works, okay? But yet, they haven't really used too much of the not compensation part, right? So you say something about South Africa, but this is what you've been doing to FBAs. So Trump and them saying, oh, they doing some bad things. They taking land from basically the white people. But how often have y'all been taking land in this country, and way before Trump, in America? This family has 600 acres of land that's their land, okay, that's been passed down for generations. You have to understand, land equals wealth completely. And that's why they're trying to do everything they can to finesse black people off their land. They happy we just have like a little house, a little small little property, not much. They don't like to hear a black person own 600 acres of land. They're like, what? A FBA own that? Oh, hell no. And they go right through the administrative state. Hey, we need to go ahead and get that eminent domain. That's why they take your land now. They either take your land that way or they gentrify you out of your area by building up a bunch of things, jacking up the taxes, because we have property taxes, which other countries throughout the world look at America like we're crazy. Say, what you mean you charge somebody a property tax? If they already paid for the home, they shouldn't be paying you no tax every year. And the property taxes go to your city. That's where it go to. State gets some things too, but definitely the cities raising your property taxes on you. Because it's just really, it's horrible. That system, a lot of the system in America, in some instances, is very good versus other countries throughout the world, just be honest. But in a lot of instances, they keep us. There's a scripture that says the borrower is enslaved to the lender. And even if you own your own home, you still, in a way, enslaved to a lender, the city. Because if you don't pay that property tax, they can take everything you work for from you, your home. If you don't pay the property tax on your land that's been in your family, like this family, since the 1920s, right? They could take that land from you. If you don't pay the property tax on the land that's yours, you paid for it. This is your land. And every year you have to pay property taxes. That, to me, that's a scam. They need a Doge on every city and state level too, in my opinion. Go through the city and say, why are you taking property tax from people? What are you doing with the money? You're going to find fraud, waste, corruption, and finessing all through that. And I really think that at least definitely start in Republican states. Republican states need to pass like a Doge, and that Doge is in every city in the country, and they work with the state, and they go and they check everything. They check where the money going, why you did this, who did what, and if somebody finessing, stealing, whatever, they're getting charged. And everything being put on Front Street, which your local city government spent money on. They would really bring a lot of confidence back into the government, because a lot of people don't have confidence in them anyway right now, right? So this is wrong, and I pray this brother and sister can fight this to the end and win, because the eminent domain is the way they've been getting us off our land. They've been doing that. They went from the terrorism of the Klan to the administrative state. Hey, that's eminent domain them. That's raising the property taxes on them where they can't afford it. So now we're gonna take the land. And that's why these people will never be blessed. They think they blessed, but they're not. Because when you steal from people, you'll never really prosper. You won't. And what you do to others, it's gonna come back on you tenfold. That's why I always pray. Everything that has been done to us, it should come back on those who did it to us tenfold. I always feel that way. We don't have to do nothing. It's just the way things work. Seed time and harvest time is real, whether you agree with that or not. And what you're seeing today with a lot of the folks, they're starting to bear that fruit, and they don't like it, and they think Trump gonna save them or Elon Musk will save them, but they can't. They can't save you. They're not gonna be in office long enough to save you. That's the thing. So trying to take this land from this family. Yeah, these